Nice. Nice. Okay.
So one of the things we tried to do with this collection was take favorites that you can find now, like we did a top 10 countdown a few weeks ago leading up to the April 26th anniversary celebration. So, of course, there's some of those on there. There's Tom Bombadil, there's the theme for Rohan. But there's also stuff on this in this collection that you can't find anywhere else, like the chant for Sauron or the Grey Havens or Orc Hunt, you know. So this is quite the collector's edition of music from the game.
Absolutely. Let me just see if there's a couple questions in chat.
All right.
Let's see. Chance's music continues to be my favorite part of Lotro. We have a couple people saying the feels. They're very, very thrilled to see this music. I have a couple of people saying they've even got a few tears after seeing that announcement and all that sort of thing. The moment I heard Grey Havens for the first time is the moment I fell in love with Lotro. So.
Oh, what a beautiful comment! Thank you.
Let's see. Let's see. Just a lot of we have a bunch of people here looking for that physical version as well as the digital version here. So the digital, just to reiterate, the digital version is available right now on hugesound.com, and let me call up that URL /Lotro10. And in the coming weeks, we'll have more information about, say, physical releases and things like that from Huge Sound Records and that sort of thing. So we can follow. We'll have it on social media too. But in terms of a formal announcement, that'll be coming really from your side of the musical world there. So
one of the things I am curious about, a lot of people say to me, "Oh, it's all about streaming music. It's all about digital downloads." I have thought that there might be interest if we did something kind of special, some sort of special packaging for a physical product. I've thought there might be interest, but I don't know. Yeah. If there are people out there who would like to see a physical product, can you let me know? You can write to me on Facebook. You can write to me on Twitter. You can write to Standing Stone Games and let them know.
I hope you don't have loud notifications on your phone when someone @s you on Twitter, because I have a feeling you might be getting a fair number of those in the coming hours here.
And if there's a lot of interest, that's a good thing. Then we'll definitely move forward with that for sure.
Yeah. I like both, right? They both serve their purpose. I like digital on the computer on MP3 players, and mixtapes and. See, I just dated myself. Mixtapes, right? But I also have a CD player in the car and such. Right? So yeah, right.
Do they know that about you? Do they know that you're a bass player?
I don't know if yeah, you guys know I'm a bass player, right? Because I've done a few theme songs, not for Lotro so much, but for some of the other kind of things I've done, like podcasts and that. So. Tape,
Jerry,
like an 8-track?
We got to get you in the studio.
We do. I would love to. I got a couple albums of freebies out there you can find online if you want to, like on Archive and such. So.
Hey, let me say something else about this particular collection. I probably got, as I tend to do with Lord of the Rings Online stuff, I got really geeky about it. And I went through and I made all these edits. I've spent months and months putting this together, rearranging things, getting the ebb and flow just right, so that in the end, this is a really fantastic headphone album. I mean,
yeah.
Put this on, and the flow of songs, the way everything works together, hands off from one to the other, it really takes you on quite the epic journey.
Let me get total music nerd then for a second, and that is, players will hear this music in game, but clearly when it's played in game, it's not at, say, high quality digital resolution, which this music is, right?
It absolutely is, right? The stuff, when you put it in the game, you've got to compress it, which cuts out a lot of the higher harmonics, and you're sampling it at greater intervals, which means you're missing a lot of the detail and the nuance. This is high fidelity. Everything is as I intended it to be in the first place. So listening to this, you're going to get the full experience. You won't hear it this way on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see if we've got Have you ever thought about releasing sheet music for some of this stuff? Comes from Rivers Dream 47 over on Twitch.
That's a great question. I think we're just now launching this whole music division of our company. And in fact, this is our debut product, this Lotro 10 commemorative soundtrack. If things go well, then we'll be able to do more things. And I could envision a day when we might be able to put some sheet music together and put it out there for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Verdoin represents a contingent of Europeans here, saying if we do get that physical release, will it be shipped to Europe? Do you know that? That's kind of technical? I don't know how much you actually know about that one. Can they ship it to Europe?
Of course,
Yep, yep.
anything can be shipped anywhere. It's just a function of packaging and freight costs and things like that.
Sure.
But
Sure,
yeah, I
sure.
mean, if there's enough interest and we end up doing some physical product, we'll figure out a way.
Two questions here from Martin Kroll over on YouTube. How do you usually find your musicians and singers for the Lotro tracks? Do you have sort of a standard roster of people that you tend to work with, or how do you go about doing that kind of thing?
So that's a great question. Let me tell you a little history. Back in 1998, when I was working on music for Sierra Online's J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth, I did a lot of research into these different ancient music societies around the
Nice.
country.
Yeah.
It's like groups of people who like to play medieval music or Renaissance music. And I was living in California at the time, and I found a pocket of them in Salt Lake City, Utah. And so I flew from California out to Salt Lake to record some songs for that very first soundtrack that I started working on. And they were so great. So then, when I was working under Vivendi Universal Games, put together a group of themes for Lord of the Rings, and I came out to Utah and discovered that their orchestral musicians were also fantastic. Wow. And then when I wanted to record the chant for Sauron, which has never actually shown up in Lotro yet, but I found that singers from the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, world famous choir, actually kind of enjoyed singing the dark speech of Mordor, the black speech of Mordor. So,
how neat.
So great musicians, great singers, great engineers, great studios, and they've been a thrill to work with for sure.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Related question then. Let me call back up my chat. I was actually looking at ordering your soundtrack while you were talking there. Sorry about that. I suppose it's not something to apologize for, huh? All right. How many pieces of music from Lotro are recorded with actual instruments as opposed to, say, some of the digital music and that you do? I guess it's an indication that technology has gotten to the point that it can be hard to tell, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that some of the other composers who've worked on Lord of the Rings Online over the years have done digital music. All the stuff that I've delivered, we record with small acoustic ensembles, lute, guitar, mandolin, frame drums, whatever, and then orchestra and choir. So that's kind of been the way that the Lotro team has used me over the years to do the live stuff.
Nice.
So definitely everything you're going to hear on this soundtrack was recorded live.
Druids fires a question. Have you ever seen video games live, and basically can you get your stuff in there? Do you know anything about that? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Tommy and I have been friends for many, many years. And when Video Games Live came to Salt Lake City 2 years ago, I think it was, we premiered the theme for Rohan in the show.
Right.
In front of the hometown crowd, and I actually got to conduct, which is a funny story. I shouldn't tell this story, but I'm going to. So as you listen to Theme for Rohan, it probably seems to just sort of flow naturally, but there's actually a lot of meter changes, we go from 6/4 to 5/4 to 4/4 to 6/4, a lot of meter changes to try to create this very smooth flow. And I got up to rehearse the orchestra earlier in the day, and I couldn't keep track of all the meter changes. I kept getting lost. I was like, wait, no, hang on. Let's go back again. And all these musicians are looking at me like, are you serious? Did you write this or what? But eventually, I pulled it off, and the performance that night was fantastic. But yeah, it was a little embarrassing.
Nice.
Like, wait, why did I change meters so many times?
Right. Let's see. Actually, I guess one of us, Earbold over on Twitch, says the Sauron chant actually is being played during the Blackgate cinematic at the end of the North Athelian Epics. So maybe
Good.
It is out there. All right.
Good.
Are we going to see...
Make a reappearance soon.
Yeah, there you go. Are we going to see any tracks with Taylor Davis maybe in the future? Because I know you've worked with her, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Taylor's fantastic. So I would love to do another project with Taylor, but nothing has been revealed yet. So
okay,
stay tuned.
Any other questions? I think you may have answered this a little bit in your 10-year retrospective, but what is a Lotro song that you keep going back to in terms of something you listen to for inspiration while writing pieces for Lotro?
Interesting question. So I admit sometimes I will put on this soundtrack as I've been trying to find the right flow and make sure that everything works nicely. I'll put it on in the background and just listen to it. And every once in a while, like when I heard all of those cool percussion sounds and chanting in Orc Hunt, I thought, I could utilize that again in this project, or I could use that approach in this song. So occasionally I will find some inspiration from the old music.
Nice. All right. I think I've taken about a half hour of your time here, so I don't know if I want to take too much more of it. I guess, is there anything we should sort of wrap things up with here, kind of reiterate? Anything you want to mention?
Yeah, two things. First of all, I have never been treated so well by so many people as this team of developers and this group of players and fans have treated me. And it's been a wonderful and touching thing in my life. And so once again, I just want to say thank you to all the players, to you, Jerry, to the team at Standing Stone who've been so supportive of all this. It really touches my heart. And that sounds a little cheesy, little, I don't know. It's just me, all right? I'm a musician, I'm a composer, I'm an emotional guy. What could I say? And it means a lot to me. And then the last thing I'd like to say is I want to thank Galen Rust and Denise Rust. I want to thank Frederica Drotos. I want to thank Todd DeMel. I want to thank everyone who had a hand in bringing this collection of music together and making it possible for us to release it now to the world. That's also meant a lot to me, and so thank you to everyone.
Great. Well, and thank you, Chance, for being able to work with us, and for all of us, I guess, to be able to bring this to fruition again. HugeSoundRecords.com/Lotro10 to get the soundtrack here, and get back to work on Mordor, huh?
Let's do it. All right. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you so much. Yep. And I'm going to just real quick here change up a few things. I need to boot up the client, and I will be back with you in just a second. But in the meantime, I did want to mention I did download that album while we were talking. It's an MP3 format, high quality MP3 encoding. And again, you can just get that in